Hello everyone. Today in this video we are going to see the certification related questions related to accounts payable and accounts receivable. So which business partner categories does the system support? Business partner categories. So there are three correct answers. So I think it should be person, organization and agency. So let us see. Oh no, it's in group. Okay, group, person, organization. The partner categories are person, organization and group. These are fixed categories. You can't change or add any. Agency and public sector fall into organization category. Okay, those are organization categories. These are business partner categories. Group, person and organization. Public sector and agencies are organization categories. You have mistakenly created your business partner with the wrong business category. You have saved the data but haven't made any postings. What can you do to correct this? Create business partner with wrong business partner category. So there are four options. Change the setting directly in the business partner master record. Contact the system administrator to change the table entry in the backend. Normally we don't do that. Create a new business partner using the correct category. So this is the one. So we cannot change once we create a business partner with one specific business category, we cannot change it. So we have to create a new business partner with the correct category. Delete the company code assignment for the business partner. Correct the category and reassign the company code. No. So the correct answer is C. The only way to correct this is to create a new business partner and mark the erroneous one for deletion. Changing this isn't a matter of authorization, nor does it make any difference if you have posted on the business partner or assigned it to a company code. However, if you have posted the best option is to reverse the documents and repost on the correct business partner. Now the true or false question. After assigning a role to the business partner and saving your data, you are no longer able to remove the role assigned. That is actually a false question. So we can remove the roles. Like it is like you can change the role assignment, and some roles are even designed to be temporary roles. True or false? The business partner role grouping is where you assign the business partner number range. The business partner role grouping is where you assign the business partner number range. Actually it is false. This is incorrect. You assign the business partner number range in the business partner grouping. The role grouping is only useful for performing common maintenance of more than one business partner role and has no part in the number range definition. You are configuring a new SAP S/4HANA system. What are your options for defining the number range assignments for business partners? So the business partner drives the number range used. We all know that in SAP S/4HANA system, the business partner is defined first and is assigned a number. The customer and supplier created for the business partner inherit the business partner account number. Which business partner objects can you define field statuses for? Which business partner objects can you define field statuses for? So there are two correct answers where all you can define the field status for the business partner. So it is in the role and it is in the type. Business partner role and business partner type. A bit trick question in the certification, you won't see trick question. So kudos if you got this one right. All the objects displayed can have a separate field status definition, but only two of them can be considered business partner objects: business partner role and business partner type. So these are considered as business partner objects. Which field cannot be changed during document posting for the one-time customer? Which field cannot be changed during document posting for the one-time customer? So which field you cannot change? I think it should be customer number. The customer number can't be changed. The customer number isn't an identifying characteristic for one-time customers because more than one will share it. You can enter the customer name, industry, country, and other address and bank detail during the posting transaction in special pop-up window. So now it's a true or false question. Bank details for a business partner are part of the general business role. Bank details for a business partner are part of the general business partner role. It's true. Bank details, meaning the business partner's bank accounts for where they receive and from where they send their payments, are assigned in the general data section and are thus common and usable independent of the assigned business partner roles. The bank details you might enter in the customer or supplier payment section, house bank account ID, are per company code and defined from where the company code should pay or receive payments. So bank details for a business partner are part of general business partner role. So for business partner, the bank details are assigned in general data section and is common and usable independent of assigned business partner roles. So which field in the business partner master can you configure so that the document reference is transferred to the line item? It is sort key. The sort key defines what is transferred to the assignment field on the line item. Here you shouldn't be confused by the field names and remember where everything belongs. The assignment is actual field where such information is transferred. The reference is a document header field. The line item text can carry the information not automatically, except maybe with a substitution, but more importantly, it's a document level field and not maintained on the business partner. Remember to read exactly what the question is asking for. Don't get distracted by answers that seem to fit but in the end have nothing to do with the question. A business partner is both a customer and a supplier. The customer has a sizable open amount unpaid. A business partner is both a customer and a supplier. The customer has a sizable open amount paid. You want to make sure that the payment program posts no outgoing payment to the business partner until he has paid part of the outstanding amount. How can you do this? Want to make sure that the payment program posts no outgoing payments, because already the customer needs to pay the amount to the business partner until he has paid part of the outstanding amount. How can you do this? So assign an overall payment block in the general business partner role details. Assign a central purchasing block in the general business partner role details. Assign a payment block in the customer business partner role details. Assign a payment block in the supplier business partner role details, because we want to stop the outgoing payment, not the incoming payments are not related to purchasing or not the overall payment. We just want to hold the outgoing payment, so that is something related to supplier. So we need to choose D. D is the obvious choice. An overall payment block would block incoming payments as well as outgoing, which is same as the assigning the block on the customer. A purchasing block would mean you wouldn't be able to use the supplier to order goods which isn't mentioned as desired outcome in the scenario. Blocking the supplier for payment ensures that you won't pay for any open items, at least not without a manual intervention of the payment. Don't let questions like this one with a lot of text cause you to panic during the examination for fear of running out of time. The writing guidelines for questions generally maintain that the question should be concise and carry mostly only information absolutely required to answer the question. This means in most cases it is a good idea to read every detail of the question. It also means that most questions aren't very long, so you can afford to spend a little more time on the few longer ones without worrying about running out of the time. What can you achieve by using the head office or branch scenario? Settings changed for the head office master record will be transferred to the branch account. Postings made to the head office also can be paid to the branch account. Invoices posted to the branch become open items for the head office. Actually, this is the one. And let us see even for D. Correspondence and Dunning letters are printed and sent to both the branch and the head office. Did he mention anything about any correct answers? No. So I think the answer is C. The definition of the head office or branch scenario is to have centralized open payment and payment management. The C is only answer that fits the bill. There is no kind of automatic master data synchronization with a head office. You pay the head office because that is where the open item is, and correspondence can be sent either to the head office or to the branch depending on the setting in the decentralized processing field. Which configuration can you use to define separate payment terms for the same terms of payment key? Which configuration can you use to define separate payment terms for the same terms of payment key? So what does it mean? Can you use to define separate payment terms for the same terms of payment key? So for the same terms of payment key, how you can define the separate payment terms? Whether it is a day limit, company code, country, installment payment. It's in day limit. The day limit key allows you to do this. The day limit together with the terms of payment are the key fields in the relevant definition, which means you can differentiate either field to have an additional. You can have multiple terms of payment definitions differentiated by the day limit. You can have multiple terms of payment differentiated by the day limit. The level you would need to change to create terms of payment with the same key. The level you would need to change to create terms of payment with the same key otherwise would be client, because the terms of payment are client dependent. You have agreed to terms of payment with a business partner, that is a customer and supplier. The same terms are to be used both ways, incoming and outgoing. You have defined a new terms of payment key, but when trying to update the supplier, if you have defined a new terms of payment key, but when trying to update the supplier business partner role, you don't find the payment term available to select. What must you do? Create a new payment term for the supplier business partner role. Enter the payment term manually during invoicing. Maintain the account type in the terms of payment. Change the field status of the business partner role to make the payment terms an optional field. I think it should be D. Let us see. No, it is C. This is a troubleshooting question which tests understanding the knowledge of functionality of the system. So maintain the account type in the terms of payment. Okay, maintain the account type in the understanding and knowledge of the functionality of the system. However, these questions aren't often used in exams because it is hard to make them unambiguous. In this example, the terms of payment answer C must have been configured without the supplier account type. However, one could argue that A would work as well and S it would be also kind of work, but it is no real solution. D is clearly wrong. The specific payment term was missing per the scenario in the question. D would indicate the field itself. Specific payment term. Okay. Field itself was missing, which is implied anywhere. So Y is C the correct choice. It's by far the most proper way to handle the situation. Creating additional records when you could use what is there just adds noise to an already complex system. You want to always try and simplify for the end users. You have negotiated payment terms that include 3 installment payments with your customer. How many terms of payment must you define? It should be 4. To configure installments, you need a base payment term and then an additional payment term per number of installments. In customizing, you assign each installment payment term to the base payment term. What does assigning a screen variant during document entry do? It default values for fields in the document line item. It changes the fields that are ready for entry in the document header. It changes the fields that are ready for entry in the line items. It defaults values for fields in the document header. It changes the fields that are ready for entry in the line item. The screen variant is an entry that simplifies the line item section of the screen by displaying only those items that are required to be entered, or at least a much smaller selection of account assignments than what is on the standard line items. The screen variant has no effect on the header section and had no predefined values attached to it. When setting up the system, you want to maintain default values for users of a company code. Which applications do you use? User maintenance. As a consultant, you would use the user maintenance application. Transactions SU01 are better at transaction SU10. With these transactions, you can change users other than your own. Both the user profile and the default values in SAP Fiori Launchpad are limited to defaulting values only for logged on user. Your customer doesn't want to implement profitability analysis, not even account based, because the company doesn't understand its value. Which argument would you use to persuade the customer? Profit and loss statements can be analyzed by sales specific characteristics. Balance sheets can be analyzed by sales specific characteristics. Sales order can be forecasted as liquidity items in cash flow reports. Down payment integration can be performed with sales and distribution. So the A profit and loss statements can be analyzed by sales specific characteristics. This question is borderline as far as whether it can be answered with the content in this book. Although we try to be consistent with the everything can be found in the details. There are some questions for which it helps to have some outside experience to answer. In this case, you know that many fields coming from sales and distribution are transferred to the universal journal as values of COPA characteristics. Anything that finds itself as information on the line item in the universal journal can be analyzed in reports, including the profit and loss statement. So A is the correct and the distractors here are wrong. COPA is updated for profit and loss account, so no balance sheet entries usually. Liquidity forecasting has nothing to do with COPA. And the same is true for payment and down payment processing. SAP recommends that account-based COPA be activated. Recommends that accounts-based COPA be activated for all SAP S/4HANA systems by default, even if a customer won't initially make use of it. What can you enter in the header section of the PostOutgoing Payments app? So value date, bank fees, discount amount, customer and payment terms. Header section of the PostOutgoing Payments app. Value date, bank fees and customer. This is a straightforward question for which it helps to able to bring the entry screen to your mind. If that doesn't work, you can think of eliminating distractors. The discount amount is a line item setting because it might be different for the items you clear. The same is true for payment terms field, which would be weird to change during the payment entry. You receive a payment for an invoice that is smaller than the owed amount. How can you manage payment differences in the post incoming payments app? So here we can reject payment, residual item, partial payment, A and B. The standard way of handling payments that are smaller than the assigned open items is to create a partial payment or a residual item. If neither works, you handle the differences manually, post to the general ledger or post on account. There is no functionality to reject a payment. You could return it on the bank level, but generally you would post the payment and then talk to the customer to understand the amount discrepancy. Changing the due date is irrelevant to how or if you post the payment. When a payment in foreign currency clears, the amount of the invoice exactly in the foreign currency but in the local currency is more than the invoiced amount. What does the system do? But in local currency is more than the invoiced amount. What does the system do? So it will post profit to exchange rate differences, leave the amount as open item, adjust the local currency amount to clear the invoice exactly. This is a straight with a simple answer. Differences from currency exchange are posted automatically to the accounts you have specified in the customizing for profits or losses from exchange rate differences. What is the correct order of steps when configuring the payment programs? All company codes, so bank determination, payment methods, and then paying company. I think it should be D. The correct configuration order is all company codes, where you assign paying company codes to the ones that don't perform payments. Paying company codes, where you configure the company codes that do perform payments. Payment methods per country, where you define usable payment methods for different countries. Payment methods per company code, where you set up the ones valid for each company code out of the ones available for the country. Define the bank determination for the automated payments. In the payment method settings for the company code, what options do you have for payment optimization? Optimization by due date, optimization by discount, optimization by bank group, optimization by postal code. So it should be like due date and bank group. It should be postal code and bank group. Very specific that concerns settings on customizing screen. There you can select to optimize per bank group, meaning the system will give priority to paying from bank accounts that are in the same bank group as business partners. Can also optimize by postal code, meaning the preferred bank which will be the closest according to the postal codes to the business partner. What can you change for items that are in exception list of the payment proposal? What can you change for items that are in the exception list of the payment proposal? payment block, payment method, and the bank selection. You can remove the blocking reason if it's allowed by the definitions in customizing. You can enter or change the payment method. So payment block, payment method, and bank selection. In addition, although not one of the answer questions, you could also alter the discount amount per the tolerances allowed. Okay, we can even alter the discount amount. Payment block, payment method, and bank selection. Not the payment terms, not the reason code. On what level do you assign Dunning areas? It's obvious that it is based on company code. Dunning areas are assigned at company code level. Dunning areas are used to subdivide company codes into areas of responsibility for Dunning. So the answer is the company code where you assign this. Dunning areas might well reflect either segments or functional areas, but there is no system connection or assignment between these. Might reflect well either segments, but there is no system connection or assignment between these. When assigning Dunning charges to a Dunning procedure, what options do you have? When assigning Dunning charges to a Dunning procedure, what options do you have? There are two correct answers. To assign a fixed amount without assigning a Dunning charge percentage, fixed amount and a percentage, the system posts the ledger. To assign a fixed amount and a percentage, the system posts the Dunning charge percentage without assigning a fixed amount. A and D can assign either an absolute value for the Dunning charge or a percentage which is calculated of the total amount of the overdue items. You can't select both. You can enter the charges per level and per outstanding amount, so that is where you can differentiate the charges assigned. True or false question. You can assign correspondence types directly to a payment difference reason code. You can assign correspondence type directly to a payment difference reason code. Yep, true. In the definition of the payment difference reason code, you can indeed assign a specific correspondence type to generate correspondence for the difference. You can change all delivered SAP General Ledger indicators and assign your notes false. This wasn't discussed specifically, but it's good to know there are certain processes that are tied to the special general ledger accounts being configured in a specific way. For example, the down payment integration scenarios uses F for down payment requests and EA for down payments. These shouldn't be changed. At which point is down payment request created in the integrated down payment process with purchasing at purchase order level. So you can enter the down payment you can enter that a down payment is expected in the PO, and this generates the down payment request in the financial accounting. The special general ledger indicator is the only way to post to a customer or supplier using a different reconciliation account. It's false. This is only way to post. As mentioned, you can also configure the reconciliation account field to be changeable or selectable during document posting. This eliminates the need for a special general ledger transaction in certain cases. Which KPIs can you find on the accounts payable overview page? So there are two correct answers. Day sales outstanding, cash discount utilization, aging analysis, and collection effectiveness index. Which KPIs can you find on the accounts payable overview page? Accounts payable overview page. Cash discount utilization and aging analysis are the ones that pertain to payable functions instead of receivables. Okay, you want to track cash discounts to make sure you are taking advantage of all discounts offered. So that is one. The other correct answer is aging analysis. If the answer was specifically payables aging, it would be a dead giveaway. There might be some instances like this in exam as well, in which answer options are made a little more general without making them wrong or unfair. The two other options are receivables, key performance indicators, so you can be sure they are wrong. So with this we have completed the accounts payable and accounts receivable questions, and we will meet in another video with asset accounting related questions. Thank you so much for watching this video.